The air in the house was thick, heavy with unspoken things. My sister, Clara, had always been different. After our parents passed, I was all she had left. Being a Navy SEAL, I was used to being away, used to controlled chaos. But coming home was a different kind of battlefield. The quiet kind. This time, I was on leave, and Clara had insisted I stay with her. Her new house, a sprawling old place on the outskirts of town, felt more like a museum of forgotten memories than a home. Dust motes danced in the slivers of light that broke through the grimy windows. "It has character, right, Jake?" she'd said, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. I just nodded. "Sure does, Clara." A few days in, my buddy from the teams, Marcus, was passing through town. He was a solid guy, someone you'd want watching your six in any situation. I invited him over for dinner. I figured some outside energy would do us both good. Marcus arrived, his usual boisterous self, filling the cavernous living room with laughter. He had a way of making any space feel warmer. Clara seemed to relax a bit, even laughing at one of his terrible jokes. After dinner, Clara went to make coffee. Marcus leaned in, his voice low. "This place gives me the creeps, man." "It's old," I shrugged. "Clara got it for a steal." "Some things are cheap for a reason," he muttered, his eyes scanning the room, lingering on the shadows in the corners. When Clara returned, she said, "Jake, could you go down to the basement and grab that extra case of water? My back is acting up." "No problem." I grabbed a flashlight from the kitchen drawer. The basement door was a heavy oak thing that groaned in protest as I pulled it open. A wave of damp, earthy air washed over me. "I'll go with you," Marcus said, standing up a little too quickly. "Two sets of hands are better than one." I didn't argue. Something about his unease was starting to get to me. The wooden stairs creaked under our weight, each step echoing in the oppressive silence. The basement was huge, a labyrinth of stone walls and support beams. Boxes were stacked everywhere, draped in cobwebs like ancient shrouds. "Water should be over by the furnace," I called out, my voice sounding small in the vast space. We navigated through the clutter. I was focused on finding the water, but Marcus was different. His head was on a swivel, his movements precise, deliberate. The way we moved when we were clearing a building. He wasn't just looking, he was assessing. "Jake," he whispered. His voice was tight. "Stop." I froze. I knew that tone. It was the one he used right before things went sideways. "What is it?" He didn't answer. He just pointed his flashlight towards a far corner, partially hidden behind a stack of old furniture. There was a section of the stone wall that looked newer. The mortars was a lighter color. The stone set a little too perfectly. "Did Clara have work done down here?" he asked, his eyes never leaving the wall. "Not that she told me," I replied, my own unease hardening into a knot in my stomach. Marcus walked over to it, running his hand over the stones. He pressed on one, then another. On the third there was a faint click, and a section of the wall swung inward, revealing a dark, narrow opening. It wasn't a secret passage. It was a room my training kicked in. Adrenaline surged, sharpening my senses. The smell that wafted out was wrong. It was metallic and sweet, a smell I unfortunately knew all too well. Marcus didn't hesitate. He stepped inside, and I was right behind him. The room was small, barely a closet. The walls were bare concrete, except for one. That one was covered in photographs. Dozens of them. They were pictures of me. Not family photos. These were candid shots, me in uniform. Me at a cafe during my last leave. Me jogging in a park miles from my base. Photos I had no idea were ever taken. In the center of the wall, there was a large map of the naval base, where I was stationed, marked with pins and red strings. Routes were traced, guard schedules noted. It was an operational plan. A surveillance board. My blood ran cold. This wasn't just a sister's scrapbook. This was tactical. Below the photos, on a small wooden table, was an open laptop. The screen showed a satellite image of my barracks. Open chat windows with encrypted usernames discussed my movements. my schedule, my habits. They were talking about me not as a brother, but as a target. My mind raced, trying to make sense of it. Clara, my quiet, fragile sister. It was impossible. It had to be someone else. Maybe she bought the house from someone. Then Marcus nudged my arm and pointed his light at a small, open box on the table. Inside, nestled on a bed of black velvet, was a silver locket. It was our mother's. The one that had gone missing after the funeral. The one Clara cried over 4 weeks, saying it was the last piece of mom she had. My breath hitched. This was her. It was all her. I stumbled back out of the room, my heart hammering against my ribs. I felt like I couldn't breathe. The woman upstairs, making coffee, wasn't my sister. I didn't know who she was. Marcus came out, his face a grim, stony mask. He grabbed my shoulder, his grip firm, grounding me. He looked me straight in the eye, and the look he gave me was one I'd only ever seen in the field. We're leaving. Now, there was no room for argument. He wasn't asking. He was giving an order. We didn't go back up the stairs. Marcus scanned the basement and pointed to a small, grimy window high up on the wall. It was our only way out. He gave me a boost, and I kicked the window open. Glass shattered, but we didn't care. I pulled myself through, then reached back to help him. We landed on the damp grass outside, gulping in the cold night air. We didn't look back. We just ran. We ran until the old house was just a dark silhouette against the moonlit sky. I never saw her again. The FBI got involved, but it was like she vanished. The house was empty when they went in. It's been years, and I still don't know the truth. I don't know who she was working for, or why. All I know is that the person I thought was my sister was a stranger. And that night, looking at that wall in the basement, I realized I never knew her at all. If this story gave you chills, or if you've ever had a feeling that something wasn't right, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments what you would have done in my shoes. And Dante, forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next story. You never know what's hiding in plain sight.